We've run the high side. We've gone down low. 2014 year in review. Let's go. Hello and welcome to our final edition of Race Pro Weekly for the 2014 season. Of course, there were a lot of things that happened throughout the year, but we picked the top 10 moments of the 2014 season. So what are we waiting for? Let's get it started. There is no denying that the events at Super Dirt Week are always nail-biting at the end, and this year was no different. Both Brett Hearn and Stuart Friesen made passes that made fans and racers alike sit back and go, wow. Saturday, during the Salute to the Troops 150-358 modified event leader Billy Decker ran out of fuel. Second place Tim McCready misjudged the closing rate on the number 91 machine and Hearn slid right up the middle into the lead and eventually took the checkered flag. Fast forward to Sunday and Mr. Freeze going all out, hammering on the outside of turn 3 around the 9H of Matt Shepard in one of the gutsiest moves you'd ever seen on the mile, en route to his third Syracuse 200 win in 5 years. Both moves definitely make you go wow. Fonda Speedway has always been known as the track of champions. Names like Lape, Johnson, Lazaro, and Wimble are all legends that have made the Fonda Fairgrounds their playground during different seasons. 2014 was one of those years for Stuart Friesen. The Canadian sensation visited Checkerboard Square 9 times this season, including the Lou Lazaro Memorial event on May 31st. Only Bobby Varon was able to keep pace with the number 1 machine throughout the season. Friesen was the only driver at the track to win more than once and capped off his season with his 3rd consecutive modified title. This year was definitely one for the record books for Friesen. Seeing a first-time winner is great. Seeing that raw emotion as they climb out of car in victory lane is something special. For Kyle Hoffman, Josh Hohenforst, Donnie Wilson, Kyle Armstrong, and Jeff Rockefeller, that dream became a reality this year. For Hoffman, it was a win in the J.C. Flack Memorial at Lebanon Valley. Wilson finally grabbed the big block win on the hard clay of Orange County, joining his dad Bill. Hohenforst won at the Track of Champions on June 7th. Connecticut campaigner Armstrong used a good starting spot to grab his first win of his career on the high banks on August 23rd, and nobody can forget the emotion of Jeff Rockefeller's first modified win on June 21st at Fonda. Performance, quality, service. That's DMC Racing Products. Hundreds of name brand parts, competitive prices. That's DMC. DMC Racing Products. Race to win. There's only one place in the Capital Region for you to get the full racing action. Stop down at the Bobco video booth at the track or call 518-399-0937. Bobco Racing Video, the next best thing to being there. Welcome back to our final edition of Race Pro Weekly as we continue to move on through the top 10 moments of the season. With the next few, we'll send it over to Amber Chalmers.
During the off-season, Bobby Varon was injured in a skiing accident during a family trip to New Hampshire, which made a lot of people wonder whether he'd be back in a race car this year, and if so, if he'd be competitive. The driver from Sharon Springs, New York, not only silenced those wonders, he buried them, finishing second in points at Fonda and winning another modified title at Glen Ridge aboard the Nelson Motorsports number 85. 2014 proved one thing: Bobby doesn't have the word quit in his vocabulary. Brett Deyo is a man with a vision. After promoting several events at tracks throughout modified country in recent years, the Boyertown, Pennsylvania resident decided to tackle a new challenge, starting a series. That's when the Short Track Super Series was born. Deo put a lot of money into the events in his 6-race series, and Lebanon Valley and Accord Speedway racer Andy Bicchetti came away with the series title this year. 2015 brings a new tire deal for the series and more exciting things on the horizon. Only time will tell how far this young promoter can go. The Glen Ridge Motorsports Park started their 2014 racing campaign on Sunday nights under the Dirt Car banner. The likes of Mark Johnson, Kenny Tremont, Jeff Brownell, and Bobby Varon had designs on winning the track title. But things took a turn mid-June when promoter Mike Soule moved the racing program to Friday nights. This put the track in direct competition with the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, and the track separated from Dirt Car. Several drivers left, but some moved to the Ridge on Fridays. Willie Decker, Stuart Friesen, and Craig Hansen all made challenges, but in the end it was Bobby Varon who came away with the track title. Who knows what 2015 has in store for the track up on the hill?
It's not something you choose, it chooses you. It's something you're born with. It's a passion that consumes you. Being an outlaw is not for the weak. Being an outlaw is in your blood. Only an outlaw can survive a grueling 90-race schedule. 40,000 miles on the road, going from track to track. It's not about being posse or all-star. It's about being an outlaw. Only the best can call themselves outlaws. I'm Darren Pittman, World of Outlaws STP sprint car driver, and I'm an outlaw.
Let's get ready to rumble! Well, sort of. Billy Pouch and Ryan Godown simply dominated the racing at New Egypt Speedway in 2014. Through the main event on June 21st, they were the only two winners in the modified class. How's that for domination? At season's end, Pouch ended with 7 wins to Godown's 4. However, this year, the driver of the number 747 had no finish worse than 7th, while Pouch had a couple not-so-memorable nights, including the one in late April where his body was deemed illegal. This led to trash talk between competitors and some great action for the fans. At the end, the Ringo's Rocket won the title at New Egypt, leaving track officials hopeful the excitement of 2014 will carry over to next season. The Dirt Car banner flew proudly over several tracks in our area for the first time in a long time, showing unity among the tracks. This year, Fonda, Albany-Saratoga, Lebanon Valley, Orange County, Brewerton, and Fulton were among the tracks that were Dirt Car sanctioned. Glen Ridge started the year as a member track but went independent when they moved to Friday nights. They have since signed on with a NASCAR deal for 2015. Brett Hearn winning at Albany-Saratoga and Lebanon Valley, well, it's not really news. It has happened quite frequently. What was impressive this year was how dominant the Matson Overhead Doors car number 20 machine was on both tracks. In the first 8 weeks at the Great Race Place, Hearn reeled off 6 wins, and he would end up with 9 victories and the track championship. At the Valley, he was lights out as well, collecting 8 wins and the title after a fierce battle with J.R. Hefner. All that with missing a night of action to attend his daughter's graduation from college. Can't forget about the Big Show 6 at Malta as well, an event promoted by Brett. The show was a success again this year. Throw in a success late in the year at Super Dirt Weekend Orange County, and there is no denying just how good of a year Brett the Jet had in 2014. Make sure you check out the Thomas Racing Video booth and their website at www.thomasracingvideos.com. The Choices 301 program takes a multifaceted approach aimed at educating the public about the realities and dangers of what can happen when bad decisions are made inside a motor vehicle. Don't hesitate to designate. It's now time for our NISCA Performer of the Week award. Well, we're not going to give you one. What we're going to do is we are going to announce our Performer of the Year this coming January at the New York State Stock Car Association banquet. So stay tuned and you'll find out just who the Performer of the Year is.
Matt DeLorenzo has always been a top racer wherever he went. The former Fonda Speedway track champion saw the writing on the wall at the end of the 2013 racing season for his Saturday night home and decided the time was right to enter a new phase of his career, promotion. Last November, Matty D and his team went to work completely revamping the Fonda Fairgrounds, breathing new life into it. Fixing the grandstands, the restrooms, and the concessions were just a few of the improvements. DeLorenzo brought snowcross to the track in January, and the place was packed, just as it was for the first dirt event of the season. 2014 was just the start of some great things for the Track of Champions, and one can only wonder how far Matty D can go.
As we end the 2014 season here on Race Pro Weekly, we'd like to thank a number of people. Those, of course, who helped out with the show, including Fast Eddie, Mimi Lazaro, Matt Knowles, Amber Chalmers, Scott Morlock, and Matt Trown. We'd also like to thank all our videographers that sent us in all the highlights, including Bob James and Mike Fowl from Bobco Video, Tom Sabin from Racing Videos, Matt and Mel Thomas from Thomas Video Productions, and Jim Murdoch, who handled our coverage from New Egypt. We'd also like to thank all the photographers that went out each and every weekend to give you some great pictures, and the writers who helped make everything go on the staff of Race Pro Weekly, and everybody else who was a contributor to the site throughout the 2014 season. We'd like to also thank the drivers who went out there each and every week for being cooperative with us when we wanted to get them for interviews as well. We'd also like to thank the tracks and the promoters that let us in to do our media coverage and photography in the 2014 season. And of course, last but not least, we want to thank you, the fans. Without you guys, this show would not be possible, and we do this for you each and every week, giving you some of the best coverage in the Northeast with the modified division and all the support classes. So from everyone here at Race Pro Weekly, we thank you once again for joining us here in the 2014 season.
Said your love. And I watch Race Pro Weekly. Hope you do too.
That was our goal all year. Everyone worked really hard for it.
I know he's just saying you don't hurt nobody and he's always by the rules, but whatever. Yeah, you know, I mean, you like to race wheel to wheel with people, you don't like them spinning you out.